go ahead and jump right in. First though, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I will go ahead and link a button here, somewhere. Subscribe, okay? Let me know in the comment section what questions you have. I will make a video about it. I will try to give you as much information that I have and that I've experienced personally. And if I haven't, then I will let you know that too. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be ready when I post a video. So jumping right in, we started realizing that McKenna or Honeybee had some kind of food allergen or something like that. When she was about maybe 5 months old, she would get a rash all over her body, and then she would get eczema. We were taken to the doctors, and doctors just told us like, oh, it's just eczema, nothing to worry about. But that mama instincts knew that it was something more. It had to have been something that she was ingesting for it to do that. And she was fully breastfed at the time, so it was like, am I hurting my baby? so we stumbled across something called the Elimination diet. And if you have not seen or heard of the Elimination diet, I encourage you to go ahead and look at one of my videos on the Elimination diet. It's going to be linked above, so go ahead and click that right now, watch that video, and then come back to see me. Okay, so we did an Elimination diet, and we have been doing that for a year now. We have been just kind of trying to see what things, because not every time she ate something it was an immediate response or immediate allergen, because at the time, up until about 12 months, she was fully breastfed. She was not interested in solid foods, so it was just whatever I was ingesting and then she eating. So of course, when she did the Elimination diet, you know, I had to do it as well, eat the same foods. So as she, you know, went over that 12 months mark and started eating more solid foods, we decided, okay, there's something. It's not every day that she has a flare up, or it's not every day that we see her body covered in eczema. So what is it that she's eating that's causing her damage? So we initially thought it was dairy, and we still suspect dairy. I don't think she has an allergen as so much as maybe an intolerance to dairy. She can eat dairy, but she cannot eat a lot of it within a week's time. Maybe 1 or 2 servings of something like ice cream or anything like that. So we know dairy is not necessarily an allergen, but more of an intolerance type thing, which I have an intolerance to dairy, but you know, I don't care about it because it's whatever, you know. I want my ice creams. So anywho, so we knew it was dairy, and then all of a sudden in the last 6 months, my mother came and moved in with us, and we housed her with us, and then all of a sudden she started getting more eczema all over, and then they started getting more aggressive as the months passed. And at first I thought it was something environmental, maybe something my mom likes, you know, wear her perfumes and her scented lotions. So I thought maybe that was the deal, and you know, I asked her to kind of refrain or dial it back. But as time went on, even with her dialing it back and not using it at all, McKenna's eczema continued to increase. So we had to go back to the drawing board, like, okay, now that she's, you know, eating more, she's eating more table food and nursing less, what's going on? What is she eating? So of course we went back to our drawing board and we started looking at some of the foods. And then I noticed with her eczema, she started getting a rash on her face. I will go ahead and link a video maybe down here to show you some of the rashes that she started developing over time. And with that, we started looking at her food. So we first we looked at maybe, you know, is it gluten? So I looked up how a gluten rash looks, a gluten allergen rash or something like that. And I saw, I'm like, wow, that looks very similar to what she has. So I decided to go ahead and cut all gluten. I went and got an extensive list of all the foods she can't eat if she is gluten intolerant or has a gluten and wheat allergen. So we cut all the foods, and you know, it started clearing within 2 days. And I'll go ahead and link a picture of that. She started clearing. You can see a before and an after, and it looked great. And I was so happy, and my mama heart and papa's hearts were so just overjoyed that she was getting that relief, and she was not in pain, and she was not scratching and anything like that anymore. So as maybe 2 weeks passed, it started to clear, but it was not gone completely. So we started to question, like, okay, why isn't it going? Like, what's going on? So my husband works with a friend that we know through church, and she has, I think it's called celiac. It's celiac, I believe. It's a disease where your body does not respond well to gluten, and it actually ends up harming your body more than anything. So people that have this disease cannot consume gluten items. So we kind of consulted her, because we're like, we don't think that McKenna has that disease. However, we just had many questions for her, and one of the things came up was oats. Now, we've looked up oats, and it said that it is a gluten-free product. Oats are in itself, but the thing we find out was that it still has a small trace amount of gluten in it, depending on how it was processed, how things were handled in the facilities, all of that. So with that being said, we were like, oh goodness, we give McKenna gluten like maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Like, that girl loves oatmeal. And the fact that we was giving it to her, and we were wondering, why is it, we've cut all other gluten. Well, in that case, we thought that was gluten-free. We cut it all out. What's going on? Well, it was the oats. It was the gluten. And she was eating also like little breakfast bars and things that had oats in it. As soon as we cut the gluten oats out of her diet, voila, it started clearing up. It started clearing up, and it was like, that was it. We just needed to get rid of the oats. So now she is eczema free. Now, she still does have those dark patches on. I'm waiting a little bit longer to see, maybe that needs some time to clear up, or maybe it's just going to be a part of her skin now, just going to be those dark little patches. And I will go ahead and probably do another video on how we're handling being a gluten-free family and our dietary changes. I, for a number of months, was eating a plant-based diet while we were trying to figure out this elimination diet. My husband was still eating whatever he wanted, and then of course Kenna and me was doing the gluten-free. So it was like a whole craziness of food. So now that she's gluten-free, the whole house is gluten-free, and she's doing so much better. I will go ahead and link a video of her, and you can just see her skin and how it's reacting. I will have our DIY eczema cream on her legs, so you can see that. It's going to be on her legs. I still use that cream today. Like, it's literally over here. I don't even know if you can see it in the shop, but it's sitting on the nightstand because I just apply it when she's having maybe some itchy fits, or she's really dry. We're here in Texas, and it's super dry here, so I often put that on her before we go out, or at night where I know it's going to be lots of mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes do not like that. I started adding peppermint to it, and they don't like the smell of that peppermint and lavender. So And she is completely eczema free. So I urge you to check your diet. Most skin problems happen from the gut. If you help clean your gut, you can help, clear your skin. So you might want to start there. I am not a medical professional. I do not have any degrees in medical. I am a music teacher, okay? A music teacher. So please consult with your doctor to make sure that you are doing what's best for your family and your family's need. But I definitely encourage you to go ahead and use the elimination diet to even just start off with the top allergens. Just start off with one. Do it for 2 weeks. Bring it back in. If nothing happens or nothing changes, then maybe that's not it. So if you like this video, please, 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 please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and comment if you have any questions for me or concerns, or just want to add some information for me to try out for myself. I definitely encourage that. And again, to go ahead and subscribe to this channel and go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you can get all the videos. But I am so happy that you guys were watching. See you next time. Bye.